what is versioning, what are the parameters of versioning, how can we create version in our S3 bucket. Okay, so how many of you know what is versioning right now? Have you heard the word versioning? How can you use it? Do you have any idea? Yes, no. What is versioning in general? I'm not asking about AWS. Tell me, have you heard the word versioning? Many of you might be working in Git version control. What is versioning in general? In your college time, in your day-to-day life, you are creating the file, right? So in your college, you might have done this thing. I'm not sure if you have done. When you are creating the project and you have to create that document of that project, right? So what do you do generally? You give the you draft it, you create that document, and then you in the final step you'll give the version like final, final one, final two, final, final, pakkawana final, final which is submitted to the faculty, something like that. What are you doing that? You are just creating the same file with different names so that you can go back and check the previous version. You're not overriding the file, right? You're creating a new version of the file. Why? So that you can go back and you are preserving the previous version. And you can go back and check the what was the file. You're not overwriting the same file again and again. Agree? Yes or no? So similarly in AWS right now, the S3 supports versioning. Till now, what is happening? In your local system, if I create this file and I'm copying this file with the same name, what will happen? If I paste a file with the same name in this folder, what will happen? S3 assignment. What will happen with the file? What error I will get? It will ask me that files is already present. Do you want to overwrite? Agree? Now in S3 also till now, if you are uploading the file, till till now in S3 you are uploading the file was getting overwritten. Let's check it out. So this is my bucket which was publicly open. Okay, let me clear everything, or I can use other bucket as well. Yeah, this bucket, right? So let me delete everything and I will show you. So this is empty right now. Let's create a small file, test file. In just a second. Okay. So this is a file, right? I'm just having one line in this file right now. Test underscore version. If I upload this file in my S3 bucket, I have uploaded, give it the public access and upload. Why I'm giving public access? Just to show you, right? Click here, copy the object URL and paste in the browser. So you can see the file is available. The data is there. Now, if I upload a same file, okay, if I'm uploading the file with the same name, with different content or the same content, let's see what will happen. I have uploaded the data. Now, if I just refresh this URL, the URL is same, the file name is same. You will see the file or data got overwritten, right? But I have a requirement that I need to preserve the previous version as well. If you go to the object, here we have an option. Amazon has provided us an option called versioning, where you can preserve the previous version of this particular file. That means the file which we uploaded previously, that we can preserve. Got it? Yes or no? How can we do that? Right now, by default, versioning is disabled and it is a bucket property. So first of all, you have to go to bucket, go to the property. So let's go. We have created one new file, right? New bucket for this. Bucket versioning. Okay. This is the bucket which we have created recently. Now, if you go to the property, so by default, versioning is disabled. Bucket versioning. You can enable versioning while creating the bucket or after creating the bucket. It's up to you. But by default, versioning is disabled. Now, if you enable this versioning, so what will change? Okay. So let me show you that previously. So you can, if I click on the object, the version, there is no version information about the object previously. Okay. Let's go and enable a versioning in our versioning bucket, and we'll see what other things are changing. Okay. Now let's create a version of this. And save. So you can see we have enabled the versioning. Now what will change here? Now if you are uploading the file, let me save the file with a single line. Okay, this is a file and upload in the new bucket which with a versioning enabled. I'm just showing why I have enabled the public access, just to show you that what's the difference if you create the versioning. It's not mandatory to make your bucket public to making versioning enabled. Okay, versioning के लिए public access की जरूरत नहीं है. Just for demo purpose, I have done that. Okay, so you can see this is a file right now. If I click on the object URL and paste it in the cloud, you will see the all similar to previous. Now upload the file. Now just check it out here. Just check it out here. A version ID is created, but in previous bucket there was no version ID. Now for this particular object there is a version ID. Okay. Now let's upload again a new version of this file. There are 2 lines. I'm uploading. Now you can see again it's the latest version, latest file. If I refresh, okay, I'm getting latest file. Where is the previous file? It overwrite again. Let's check it out. Click on the version of file object, go to the version, and you will see there are two versions of the file. This is the latest version pointing right now, current version. The version which we just have uploaded, it has all 36 bytes. That means it has a more data. And there is a previous version of 19 MB. So right now we are pointing to the latest version. If I want to switch to old version, you just have to go to the version and click the that version ID, and you will see the object URL of that. So now if you observe the object URL, the version ID is appended in the URL. Okay, if it's your object is pointing to latest version, no need to pass the object version ID. Now you can see the file is preserved, the one line. Okay, so versions are available. So this is a current version. You can see this is a SOOY0. It is the current version. This is the old version. Both the versions are preserved. But if the bucket, if you have not enabled the versioning, that means your data will be overwritten if you are uploading the data with the same name. If you are uploading the file with the same name even in a given path, it will override. But if you enable the versioning, it will keep on creating the version and it will keep on preserving the previous files. It will preserve the previous file. Okay. Now let me create one more line. I have saved the file. Let me upload. Version. Now you can see there are three versions. But always remember the object URL without version ID will always point to the latest version. Okay, this is the object URL. If you're not passing any version ID, it will always point to the latest version. To access the previous version, you have to go to the version, click on that particular version. Now you will get that particular version object ID. Click on this, copy this, and then paste. Now you can see it is a previous version, SOOY0. Your object URL has a version ID appended after the URL. Clear? Yes or no? Now, what is the advantage of versioning? One of the advantages I can roll back. Let's say somebody has uploaded a wrong file. So I have three files right now. These are three versions of the file. Let's do one thing, that delete everything, then upload. Somebody accidentally uploaded the wrong data in the file. Now, if you go here and check the object URL and paste it in the browser, what will happen? No, there is a issue. the file is corrupted, wrong file got uploaded, and you want to roll back. What is my rollback? You can see this is the latest file with 0 bytes. Previously 1 line, 2 line, 3 line. So file size was increasing. Now what is the advantage of versioning? So I can anytime roll back to the previous version. Okay, I can roll back to the one previous version, not any version, the last version. That is this one, second last version. You can say I can't go directly to the first version. I can just roll back to the previous version. That is the version before that. We'll do that. But the advantage of versioning is that you can check the previous version of the file and you can roll back. Now just tell me, if I'm creating n number of version, if I have created the version of this file, there are 3 versions of this file, how much charge Amazon will take for me? Right now, the latest version has 0 bytes. The latest version has 0 bytes. So how much amount the Amazon will take from me for storing this data? 0 byte or more? Are you getting the question? How much charge Amazon will take from me to store this file? 0 byte or it will be more than 0 byte? Amazon is going to take more than 0 byte, or you can say the total amount of file you have kept in Amazon. Total amount of data you have kept in Amazon. Here you can see there are 3 files more. You have 3 versions of the file, rather 4 versions of the file. And Amazon is preserving all the 3 versions or 4 versions of the file. Now, because Amazon is storing the data, Amazon will charge you. So, total how much data you have stored? You have stored 19 bytes, 36 byte, and 54 bytes. It's nearly 100 bytes. It is nearly 100 bytes, or precisely 99 bytes are there. So, Amazon will charge you for complete 99 bytes of data stored in S3. So, current version as well as previous version, Amazon is going to charge you. The storage used by you for all the version will be charged you. Clear? Is it clear? The pricing and the storage? Yes, no? Okay. So the more you create the versions, the more data you are storing in S3 and the more you are going to charge. So for that purpose, you can delete the previous version if not in used. Okay. If not in use, you can delete the previous version. Anyhow, now my next agenda is how can I roll back? How can I roll back? So what you can do, you can just click on the object, go to the version and click on the version which is the current version. Can you see the tag current version? Current version. You can just roll back, you can delete the current version. It will roll back to the previous one. It will roll back to the previous one. Okay, that's simple. Just click on that version and click on delete. This is one way directly. Okay, so it will roll back to the previous version and the tag will add as current version to this version. The tag name as current version will be added to this version of the file. Okay, now one more thing I want to show you. When you enable the versioning on your bucket, you will see this radio button. Let's go to another bucket. This is the previous bucket. Here you can see the versioning is not enabled, disabled. This is the bucket which we have used previously. Now you can see there is no versioning here in this bucket, so no radio button. So if you enable the versioning, there will be a radio button. If you click on the radio button, you will see all the versions of the file. You will see all the versions of the file. So this is the my current version, you can see, and previous version as well. In the first, so why this help us? If you have uploaded multiple files, let me upload this file here. I'm uploading same file again. If you click on the radio button, it will show you how many files are there and each file has how many versions. So if you click on disable this, there are two files. These are the latest version. These are the latest version. If you click here, it will directly show is there any version available for this particular file. And it also implement on the folder as well. So it gives you the version ID. Okay. Now, how to roll back to previous version? Just click on that particular object, go to the version and delete the current version. So now if you see here, it is saying that permanently delete and it is showing a version ID. It is showing a version ID. Okay, so permanent delete is version ID. Yes, it is not deleting all the files. It is not deleting all the versions. It's deleting a particular version. So I have deleted the latest version. Now you can see it has rolled back to the previous version, 54 MB. Now if I just refresh this object URL without version ID, you can see it is 53. All the three lines are populated. So if your object URL is pointed to this version ID, you don't have to pass the version ID. It is will load it through your object ID. Clear? Is it clear? Now, what if you delete the file? What if you delete this file? Or let's say I delete this file. Now you can see it is showing only delete, not permanent delete. I have deleted the file. You're not able to see the file, right? If you click on the radio button, you will see that the file is still present. But some tag is added called delete marker. And the size is 0 bytes. If you shut down the radio button, you will see the file is not available. It's just like your recycle bin. When you delete anything from your local system, this file gets hidden and it will show in your recycle bin. So what actually happens, your file doesn't move to recycle bin. It is here only, it gets hidden. When you delete the file from here, your file is not deleted or it's not move anywhere. It will just here, it will just hide from here. This file will be hidden from here and it will show in your recycle bin. Similarly, in AWS S3, when you delete your file, that file gets hidden. That files get hidden And when you click on the radio button, you will see that this file, a tag is added named as delete marker. Any file with the delete marker will not show in S3 directly. कोई भी फाइल पे अगर डिलीट मार्कर ऐड हो गया है तो उस पे वो S3 में नहीं दिखेगी बाय डिफॉल्ट. यू हैव टू क्लिक ऑन रेडियो बटन एंड इट एज गुड एज क्रिएटिंग अ न्यू वर्जन ऑफ द फाइल. Amazon ने इसी फाइल का एक नया वर्जन बनाया विद 0 बाइट, सो देयर इज नो चार्ज ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर वर्जन. उस वर्जन पर डिलीट मार्कर है. सो कोई भी फाइल का नया वर्जन पे डिलीट मार्कर लगा हुआ है, इफ एनी फाइल हैज अ वर्जन with delete marker tag, that file will be hidden. That file will be hidden for you. So if somebody deletes the file by mistake, still you can recover that file. How? Just click on the radio button. Now you can see this is the object. This is the object. This is your delete marker. Now if I want to roll back to a previous version, it's simple as that, delete the latest version. Right? If you want to recover the file, delete the current version, that is delete marker version of the file. So I will repeat it again. So when you delete an object in S3 and if the versioning is enabled, then Amazon creates a new version of the file. जब भी आप कोई ऑब्जेक्ट डिलीट करते हो वर्जनिंग वाली बकेट में, तो एक्चुअली में वो डिलीट नहीं होता, उसका नया वर्जन ऐड हो जाता है. दैट इज कॉल्ड डिलीट मार्कर ऑब्जेक्ट विद 0 बाइट. सो नो चार्जेस देयर. So any file or any object with delete marker will not show in the console directly. You have to click on the radio button and check that file is available. And if you want to roll back, it's simple, delete the latest version. So this is the latest version, delete marker. Click here, delete. Now you can see the version ID is populated. And do you want to delete permanently? If you are selecting a particular version and deleting it, then you can't be able to recover it. अगर यहाँ पे लिखा परमानेंट डिलीट, मतलब फिर आप उसके बाद रिकवर नहीं कर सकते, कोई भी तरीका नहीं है. इफ यू आर सेलेक्टिंग अ पर्टिकुलर वर्जन एंड डिलीटिंग इट, यू वांट एबल टू रिकवर इट. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज रिटन परमानेंट डिलीट. अगर डिलीट लिखा है तो आप समझ जाओ रिकवर कर सकते हो, बट अगर लिखा है परमानेंटली डिलीट, दैट मीन्स यू विल नॉट एबल टू रिकवर इट. सो नाउ यू कैन सी योर फाइल इज अवेलेबल. सो इफ यू shut down the radio button, you can see the file. So you have recovered this particular file. Now if I have to roll back, just click on the radio button, or you can just go to the object directly, both the way. Just delete the latest version. It will roll back to the previous version. That's it. That is all about versioning. Click here, check two files. Two line means. If you want to roll back again, click here. Either go to the file or from a console also, directly from here, you can just click here, delete the latest version. It will roll back to previous version. So you can see only one file is there. Clear? So if you have enabled the versioning, each file will get a version ID. If you have enabled the versioning, each file will get a version ID. Each object will get a version ID. What if you have already uploaded a object and then you enable the versioning on your bucket? What will happen? That means right now this is a bucket where versioning was disabled, and still I have objects. Now what will be the version ID for this? You can see right now there is nothing, because versioning is not enabled on this bucket. So if I go here in the property and enable the versioning, what will happen to the object which is already exist? So now I have enabled the versioning on this bucket, but this object was already present. What will happen to this object? If you go here, check the version. Now you can see the version ID is null. So any object which was created before the versioning was enabled, the object will have a version ID as null. कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट अगर आपने वर्जनिंग से पहले अपलोड किया हुआ है उसको एक टैग मिलेगा वर्जन आईडी का एज नल. क्लियर. बट इसके बाद आप कोई भी अपलोड करते हो तो उसको प्रॉपर वर्जन आईडी लंबा चौड़ा वो एक रैंडम नंबर मिलेगा. वर्जनिंग अनेबल करने के बाद अपलोड करोगे तो प्रॉपर नंबर मिलेगा. अगर वर्जनिंग अनेबल करने से पहले अपलोड किया है तो नल वैल्यू मिलेगी. क्लियर. सो आई विल शो यू हियर. टेस्ट वर्जन. लेट्स अपलोड टेस्ट वर्जन. Now if you click on the object and version, so we'll see null and the current version. Any question? Any question on versioning? So version helps you to recover your accidental deleted files, or if you want to go back to previous version, you can enable the versioning on the bucket. So this is the advantage of S3. These are the few features of S3. Okay, but remember, if you are creating multiple version of the file, you have to pay for each and every version. Okay, so total amount of data stored in S3 after versioning enable is all the current version as well as previous version. That is 171 plus 171. Nearly 142 bytes of data you have to pay plus 19. So each file, the more you create the version, the more you have to pay. Okay. So for that purpose, what we generally do, we delete the previous version. We delete previous versions. Clear? That's it for today. Any question?